is body composition. It's basically I think it's the second unit in the semester. So we will get going here. I know Descent, you're the only one, but I always like to, I'm going to have some questions here throughout the presentation. If you could weigh in, that'd be great. If not, I understand. But we always learn from each other. So this is going to be recorded, and maybe some other people might check it out because they might be having a hard time with the unit. So if some of the questions you want to chime in, that would be awesome. So my first question before we get started is, in your own words, what is body composition? What do we mean by that term? If you hear body composition, what does that mean to you?
Like the body system.
Body systems?
Yeah,
anything
like
else?
No.
Okay. I just had to turn my volume up a little bit.
All right.
Oops. I gotta go back. All right, so I got a video. I'm gonna try to play this video. I went onto YouTube and I looked for a good explanation of body composition. So instead of me talking the whole time, there's a little bit better video out there that was put together by a company. So I'm gonna play that, and that's gonna explain to us what body composition is. All right?
Okay. So you saying all of these I don't have to write down, I can always just go back and watch it?
Yep, you can go back and watch it. So Descent, can you hear that, the video?
I hear music, but I don't hear no words.
You can't hear the video. Okay. Oops. There is supposed to be. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can hear the music. I just don't hear no words.
Huh. Sorry. You still didn't hear it, did you? My apologies. This is my first time working with video on, but I do have the subtitles on, so.
So you are the math teacher?
Physical fitness for life. I'm really running into some issues here. I hit the wrong button now. I'm gonna fast forward. Sorry to put you through that again. I gotta quit hitting buttons. All right, I'm gonna stop it there. I don't know if you caught the video with me just kind of hitting buttons and stuff, but we can go through it a little bit. So body composition is made up of four things, and he was saying minerals, fat, and muscle. And the last one is I have the question up there, is the body, whoops, it's supposed to say is made of mostly what? Do you remember?
Water.
There you go. We got it. All right. Yep. So when you talk about body composition, it's made up of those four things, mostly made up of water, but it's also made up of bones and minerals, and then your fat, and then muscle, as I was saying. But if you caught it in that video, I don't know if you could or not because you couldn't hear the words, but do you remember what fat? He said is fat is your stored what? You might not have caught it there. It's your stored energy. So it does have a use. And I think you also were paying attention. He did say that you can't have 0% body fat. You have to have some fat to survive. Now, a very low percentage is going to be like 5%, but most people have a much higher than 5%, obviously. But you need some fat, and that's your stored energy, and your body uses that for energy. Do you have any questions?
Nope.
All right. And here's what I was just talking about. So we have a comparison between men and women. And what do you notice that is different between men and women's body composition?
The men has more muscle tissue than the women.
Yep.
And the women have more fat.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. So typically, and this is just like average, these are always the average numbers, or I think maybe this is actually like kind of a healthy, it says essential fat. So men are going to have more muscle, less fat than women. And I think that has a lot to do with hormones and childbearing and things like that. So that's going to be your main difference. And I think that's pretty common knowledge, but it kind of breaks it down for us there. That women have, well, it's about 4 times as much essential fat than men. The men. So. Oh, you know what? I meant to change this on my PowerPoint, but I forgot to do that. I was going to have these come up, but there are actually, I listed 4 ways to measure body fat. One is a skin fold. Have you ever had your body fat measured?
No. If
No?
I did, I don't remember.
So there's 4 different ways, 4 primary ways, let's say. I think there's some other ones, but these are when they talk about measuring your body fat, which is what people are mostly interested in when it's body composition. People aren't usually interested in measuring how much water they have, or how much muscle or how much bone. It's usually they want to measure how much fat do I have on in my body. So that's most of the time what's measured. And these are the 4 different ways in which you can measure that. And I believe I'll come back to the slide. I wanted to say I had a little video, but basically there's these 4 ways. One's they take these calipers and they kind of pinch your skin in different places, and they have a calculation that they enter the numbers into. That's called a skin fold. There's like a 3 spot, and there's like a 5 spot, and there's like a 7 spot where they actually measure how much. Well, they get the skin in there too, but how much is there on the little caliper? And then have you heard of body mass index?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most common one. The body mass index basically takes large groups of people and takes their weight and height and age, and takes how much body fat they have, and they put it into a calculation like an average. So on average, if you weighed 180, let's take me for example, I'm 185 pounds, I'm 5'11". So if I'm a male at 5'11", and 185 pounds, my fat would be such and such percentage. It's just based on averages. So it's not, it can be off, it can be inaccurate only because if I'm somebody who works out, I'm gonna have a lower body fat. If I'm somebody who's more sedentary, I'm gonna have a higher body fat because I'm gonna have more muscle. So body mass index is an average and it can be kind of off. Underwater weighing is where they take somebody, it's just what it says. And you actually go underwater and when they weigh you underwater, that weight, what I remember, it takes out the muscle, and that way it just gets it gets your bones and minerals, and it takes out the water as well and fat. So then they kind of separate those two out. And then there's bioimpedance, and that's an electrical signal that it doesn't hurt. You can't feel it. They have scales that you can buy, or you have these things you can hold on to. And bioimpedance analysis is a current that they send through your body, and somehow that electrical signal can measure how much body fat you have. So those are the 4 ways. And here we go. And the next question I propose is, what do you think affects your body composition? So body composition, once again, is more fat or more muscle. What do you think is going to affect having more fat or more muscle?
You said, what do I think it affects?
Yeah, like how, what's going to make your fat go up or your fat go down, the amount of fat in your body?
More muscles.
More muscle. How do you get more muscle or less muscle?
I don't know. I'm
What do you think? What do you think happens when you eat? If you eat fast food and ice cream and don't work out, what's going to happen?
Oh, it's just gonna add.
Yep, you're going to get more fat, so that's going to affect your body composition. But if you work out and eat healthy, then your amount of fat in your body is going to go down. Your muscle potentially could go up. So that's what I mean by what's going to affect your body composition. Everybody has lifestyle choices that they make, and if you, depending on what you eat, how you eat, your activity levels, that type of thing. I think I have a slide on that. Oops, wrong direction. And so these are some things that affects your body composition that I was just talking about. Cardiovascular, I don't know if you know what I mean, but when I say cardiovascular, so it's going to be running or swimming, jumping rope, a lot of sports like soccer and basketball, things like that. Weight resistance training, so lifting weights, things like that. All those are going to have an impact or an effect on your body composition. What you eat, so if you eat ice cream and cookies and cake and fast food versus if you eat more healthy foods that are like a little bit lower in sugars and fats, fruits and vegetables, whole grains, things like that. So those are going to make a difference. And also sleep can have an impact. Believe it or not, they do studies where if you're not getting much sleep, that'll affect your hormones and that'll increase your fat too as well. And then obviously, sometimes medication can affect your body composition or how much fat you have on your body or how much muscle you have on your body. So medication sometimes plays in with those hormones. Oops. Well, here's a little video that I had. So I was talking a minute ago about how to measure, about measuring body composition. So he's going to talk about. Have you ever been on a scale? Is it Descenta?
Yes, Descenta.
Yeah, Descenta. Have you ever been on a scale? You've weighed yourself plenty of times, right? So this gentleman, is going to talk a little bit about weighing yourself on a scale and body composition and the difference between the two. So if I weigh myself, like I said, I weigh about 185 pounds, but that doesn't tell the whole story. So he's gonna, I don't know if you can hear this one. Hopefully, can you hear that one?
No. I can see it, but I just can't hear it.
Could you hear that, Desnita? Descenta? You couldn't hear it, huh? I don't know. I'm gonna have to work on that. Not sure what's going on there, but work on my videos. So basically what he was saying, you know, I mean, sometimes I could drink a couple glasses of water, that's going to affect my weight. So when you measure your body composition, that gives you a lot more accurate picture of what your body is made of rather than just weight. Sometimes people say, oh, I lost 2 pounds. But once again, if you weigh yourself in the morning, you're more dehydrated, things like that. So that's basically what he was talking about there. And then I just proposed this question to the students, you know, what are you going to do to improve your body composition? And I put up a little chart here that talks about kind of where you know you might want to be as far as goals go. You know, everybody's in a different place. So if I'm just going to look at men, for example, if I'm over 25% body fat, that's not healthy as staying obese. So my goal might be, okay, I want to get below that number. But maybe I'm a little bit more into fitness and things like that. So my goal might be, well, I want to get into that 14 to 17 range. And you can see at the very other end of the spectrum there, we already talked about this a little bit, but essential fat, this is essential for just basically living. You have to have at least, as a man, 2 to 5%, and women have to have at least 10 to 13%. So a lot of those people that you see down in those ranges, you know, around for men, you know, under, you know, 5% body fat, or women that are, you know, around 10% or 12%. Those are those, you see those marathon runners, the people who run long distances and things like that. Sometimes those individuals have that low body fat. So. All right, and that was the end of that presentation. Desanta, did you have any questions on body composition or anything today?
No.
Okay, all right. Are you in any of my class? Are you in the Fitness for Life class?
This is my first time, so I'm kind of new to the whole site.
Okay.
I just know I work on Friday, so it may be difficult for me to be on live.
Right. Right. Well, I'm glad you came on to join this session. This is, since you're new, this is something that Graduation Alliance had just started, these live tutoring sessions, and you see I had some technical difficulties in my presentation there with the YouTube videos and things like that. But I appreciate you coming online and for the session. And you know, our goal is to get some more students involved and things like that. So if you do have my class, it's going to be most likely it's going to be one of the Fitness for Life classes or the health class. And if you do have my class, you know, don't hesitate to reach out. You can always message me or email me or something like that. So it was very nice having you, and hope to see you again. Okay,